Well, the focus is firmly on the Race Coast feature season, which is going on in KZN. And of course, this week, a very important week coming ahead because we've got the weights to be declared on the 11th, I think it is. And that should be something else. In fact, the 11th has gone. But today should be the day of the weights then, if it's the 11th. And we should look forward to that, if I'm not getting my dates mixed up. But the final field announcement, 23rd of June, those traditional gallops, 25th of June. There's a grade 3 to look forward to on a Saturday, and Len is going to help us through. That is the Winter Stakes, a grade 3 over the 2,400 meters. Some aspirants for that final field will be taking up their places, but there's other exotics to touch on. And without further ado, let's welcome our analyst. It is the ultra consistent Len Mayhew. Len, a very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Cecil. Nice to see you back in the saddle.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Right. Kicking off with tomorrow. It looks like we're in for another tough card, but there look to be a few early on. And if we can get past the first couple of hurdles, we got a chance to get decent dividends. Hopefully we can catch. Starting off in the first leg of the Bipot, the favourite Sweet Green, she was a little disappointing after a cracking debut, but she had excuses last time. She pulled up severely fatigued and lame in the left hind. So I'm going to excuse that run. But even in saying that, it was an extremely strong field. Both of her runs, there's been multiple winners that have come out of both of those races. So I'm not looking to beat her. I think she's probably the best bet on the card. And I'm banking her, obviously, in the Bipot.
Okay, so that is a banker in the first leg of the Bipot. It is an open and shut case. Number 4, Sweet Green. Give me the green light. A penultimate run, which was the first run. Catwalk King came out and I think won a feature recently in the Cape. And of course, World Series, highly regarded by the Marshall stable. Slightly disappointing recently in a feature in KZN. But that is Sweet Green. 4 banker the 6 in leg 2, and an outlay of 360 rand. Thank you, Len. It's that 1:15 the off time to race 2. We move on to the first leg of the PA race number 3. Should be off at 10-2 with the running of a maiden plate over the 1,200 meters. No changes as I speak on a Friday morning. But one thing we can confirm is that we have an odds-on favorite, and that is in the form of Zagreb, number 6. And that is Ricky Maingard, who's having such a swell time of it with this small string in KZN. He's got the services of Craig Zaki, and that is at 7-10, and that is courtesy of Betway. The second favorite is number 7 at 9-2, and that would be Barry's Boy. Number 4 is Light of the Fire, and that is at 6-1, along with number 3, and that is Ubuntu of Peace, who had a decent debut run, also at 6-1. It is thereafter 14-1 and a better bar those. Well, just recalling the slide we put up for your Bipot, Len, you've gone bank at the 4 in the first leg and bank at the 6, which would be leg 2 of the Bipot and leg 1 of the PA, number 6 Zagreb. So logic would have it, certainly if it's expected to make the first 2, should make the first 3.
Yes. So once again, I'm siding with the Cape Town challengers. Zagreb from the Ricky Maingard stable, he's got some good Cape form, and although he's been a beaten favourite on a few occasions, he's now been gelded, and I feel that this will make the difference, and I expect him to win tomorrow. There's been multiple winners from all of his form lines, so the form there is very strong. Ubuntu of Peace looks to be the biggest danger, having finished a good second on debut. And then you've got the 4, Light the Fire, being the other likely challenger. But if the gelding has helped, I think Zagreb, again, one-horse race.
Zagreb, another confident selection as we look at the PA, which has a banker leg 1 and a banker leg number 7, the conclusive leg, in race number 9, which is leg 7, and the 3, Miss World, who is the cover girl on a computer form for Saturday rather, Craig Zaki and Adam Azzi. That's your PA, a outlay once again of 360 rand. Remember, the percentage is also very much at your disposal. Right, we move on to Class 4, which will be race number 4. 1,200 meters is a trip for leg 1 of the pick 6. Now, this is the second and final race on the poly. I should have pointed out that races 3 and 4 are on the poly track. The remainder of the 9-race program are on a turf. So this is the conclusive race on the poly. And unlike the preceding 2 races we've discussed with Len, this is looking very much an open affair. Recent maiden winner number 5, Bangladesh, in the colours of Mr. Sid Moodley, trained by Natty Codson, is at 9-2 the favourite. Number 8 is second favourite, and that is a Little Boy Blue, off a second last time out, is at 5-1. 11-2 is number 6, and that is Red Bomber. And then you've got number 2, Mojo Man, that is Wendy Whitehead and Michaela Michelle. That is at 15-2. It is 8-1 and better bar those. Very open-looking affair, Mr. Mayhew, race number 4. We've been spoiled with those first 2 legs. Now it's time to put those thinking caps on and perhaps even something in double figures like definitely yes. I would include in the pick 6. Would you recommend that?
Yes, Cecil. Look, from here on in, the ride gets a lot bumpier. It's very competitive, and there's many in with chances. Unfortunately, the one you mentioned, I had to eliminate a few from the first leg of the pick 6. It was too expensive, so I've elected to leave it out because of the wide draw, but I'm tongue-in-cheek with that one. I'm a little bit worried. Look, you've got Bangladesh, who ran out a very easy maiden winner, but he's stepping up against quite a lot stronger here. Then Red Bomber, he's back to his best form and should run another good race. Little Boy Blue, he improved with the tongue tie last time out, so he must be a big runner. He's got Richard Ferry on board. And then Chikorita, he's improving again. He showed good pace last time before being caught close to home. So I think those are the 4 main ones. Yes, I've got to say, definitely yes, got to have a chance. Just the draw was a little off-putting. And then also like Azuri, number 10. The blinkers come off and he needed his last run, so I can see improvement from him. But I'm just hoping we can get through this first leg of the pick 6 with those 4 runners.
Thank you so much. As you say, it is tricky. You have to make a statement somewhere, and you've gone those 4. And if that first leg is negotiated, then we could start being a little bit optimistic. 2,520 Rand is at the pick 6, and that's with your banker at the back. That is Miss World number 3. We were off with race 4 at 2. Right, let's move on to the jackpots now. And the first of those 2 jackpots, as we revert back to the turf, is race number 5, a middle stakes over the 1,600 meters. And it is Rachel Fenneker reunited after Andrew Fortune rode the last time out with the 4 Mojave Prince, who won coincidentally with Andrew on, and has done well with Rachel aboard as well. So it is a like for like in terms of getting a tune out of Mojave Prince is your favorite, and that is at 15-4. Number 7, back to winning ways, Tyrconnell, Mike and Matthew. That is second favorite at 5-1. 6-1 is the 3, and that is one that I will be hoping Len gives me confidence about. Give me a fabulous. I hope I saw right. That's one of your 3 horses in leg 2 of your pick 6. So I hope.
Yes, Cecil, another very open-looking race. I'm going with the inform horse, the 4-horse Mojave Prince. You know, he's won 3 of his last 4 races, and from a good draw, I'm expecting him to run another good race. Tyrconnell won over the course and distance last time and should again, he should again be right there. Then, yes, your horse, Give Me Fabulous, she returns to her preferred course, and she must come into the reckoning. She does seem to do her best at Gravel. And then a horse like Uzwana, number 11, he's really been battling to get a decent draw. And so he's been really unlucky. So if he gets luck in running, I think he'll also be flying at them at the finish. So for me, those are the main players. But I've gone just with the 2 in the place accumulator, Mojave Prince and Tyrconnell.
Okay, and then in the first jackpot, 1, 3, 4, 7, and 11. Those are the numbers of preference for this middle stakes over the 1,600 meters in the jackpot, and I'm sure you can utilize your freedom to add or to subtract whatever you see fit. It's an off time to race number 5 of 15:05. That is Saturday racing coming through from the racecourse Hollywood Bets Grable. Stepping up in trip as we edge closer to the grade 3 feature on the afternoon, which will be over the trip of race number 6, which is now under the microscope. And in race number 6, number 11, that is a Gold Baby is your favorite, and that is at 3-1. Number 10, that is Zena Rose. That is your second favorite, and that is at 33-10. 6-1 about number 1, and that is Vion's Bomb. And then you've got 13-2 about the 13, and that would be No Pressure. All right, No Pressure, Len. Find us the right one here, please.
Cecil, I don't know about No Pressure because this is another tricky race. I've tried my best to trim it down for the pick 6 purposes because of the cost. And look, the 11 was Gold Baby. She finished a very creditable second in her first run out of the maidens. And I think she'll enjoy this longer trip. She comes in with a nice galloping weight of 52, so I think she'll go well. No Pressure, he was narrowly beaten last time, and he's got to be included, along with the 1 Vion's Bomb. You know, he was a bit outclassed in the recent Lonsdale Stirrup Cup, but I think he'll make his presence felt against this lesser opposition here. And then 1 I've included in the jackpot, in the second jackpot, is the 2-horse, Captain Oliver. I think he's a nice roughie, but for pick 6, as I say, I've just got the 3 horses.
Okay, so that jackpot 1, 2, 10, 11, and 13. That is your first leg, and then as a cover, should the unthinkable happen at the back, he's got the 9 as well, Black Eagle, in that last leg, which is race number 9. 420 Rand is the outlay to that jackpot. 22.4 is your off time to race 6. Okay, so the top liner of the afternoon, and as mentioned at the top of the show, there are some aspirants as far as that final field, which is due to be announced on the 23rd of June, is concerned, with the prime target being the off time of, at least Saturday afternoon on the 4th of July. The renewal of the July 2026. Lucky Fish Winter Stakes, a grade 3, is over the 2,400 meters. And here we've got the 2 Native Ruler, who's had one run in the province, and that was in the World Sports Betting Greyville 1900. We're finishing 2 lengths behind. Isivavane is your favorite, and that is at 5-2 rather. At 7-2 is number 4, Shoot the Rapids. You've got number 7, Enflame. That is also at 7-2. And then you've got 15-4, about the 5, Holding Thumbs. You've got number 6. So this is a horse we look forward to seeing. 10 Penny. And that's also in the colours as is the same as Native Ruler. That is at 5-1. Len, nice race. Not the biggest of fields, but what we like in quantity, as I always say, we've got in quality as far as staying, stamina, etc. And the horses that certainly would have justified claims for that final field on the 4th of July.
Yes, absolutely, Cecil. It's a very competitive field. You know, all of Master Redoute, Native Ruler, and Holding Thumbs, they all needed their last run, and they'll be better suited to this longer trip tomorrow. On form, the obvious choice would be the 7 Enflame, but I've got big worries about the shorter Greyville Straight as compared to the long Turfentine Standside track where he's been winning. You know, he usually takes an age to get going, and you know, sometimes you'll see Serena working on him before they have even turned for home to get him into gear. But look, once he gets into gear, he's got a hell of a finish on him. So he takes off like a rocket. But I really don't think, personally, I don't think the Greyville Straight's going to suit him. But we'll know more tomorrow. Cape Raider, 10 Penny, he's got some good form. And apart from his last run, in which he ran well below par, I think it was due to the wet track that day. You know, he's got to come in with a big chance. Then you've got a horse like Shoot the Rapids, and Emalenzi Yokadaduma is another one that I'll give a chance to. So for me, very, very tough race.
And you haven't even touched on the likes of Holding Thumbs as well. So it is a very tough race. Thank you so much, Len. That is race number 7, and the suggested trifecta 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is your trifecta box, courtesy of Len Mayhew. Right, let's drop back in trip from that 2400 for the grade 3 and come back to 1,000 meters. This will be a class 2 stakes, and what a race we have on our hands. and the betting tells you the story. 11 to 2 joint favorites. This is a courtesy of Betway, rather, on a Friday morning, and that is 11 to 2 numbers 4. Talk to the Master, and also at 11 to 2 is the 9 African Pride, back to winning ways. The jockey is retained, Michaela Michelle, who made all to win just very recently at Turpentine. Number 3, position rather of power. That is at 13 to 2. Number 12, Teflon Man. That is next best, and that is at 7 to 1. It is 15 to 2, and a better bar those. Future Variety is not even in that story of the betting, and seems to have really taken to that part of the world well. Especially Grable seems to grow an extra leg, but that's not in the betting at the moment, Len, in single digits.
Cecil, I think it is 8 to 1, according to what I'm seeing here. In any event, look, it doesn't get any easier.
Oh, yes, 9 to 8 to 1 it is, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier. I mean, if you look at the betting, they're betting 6 to 1 virtually the field. So for me, there's not one horse I could leave out here and be comfortable with. It's one of those field races, but, you know, we have to try and cut it down somewhere. I've included as many as possible. And if I had to make a choice, I would go with a 7 or Circumbendibus. He loves Gravel. He's 1 from 1 over the course and distance, and he's highly consistent. So I know he'll be out in front, although there are a lot of speedsters in the race. You know, I've got African Pride. And there's a couple in the race that I wouldn't think they're distance suited over the 1,000. I mean, talk to the Master. I don't know how you'll go over the 1,000 meters, and he's joint favorite. And then Cat's Pajamas over the 1,000. You know, he seems to be better over 12, 14. But in any event, they're horses that you can't leave out. So as you can see, I've gone wide in this race.
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and again another one that certainly will be coming over a trip or short of its optimum is number 12, Teflon Man, who is currently at 7 to 1. But that's the nature of the race, and that's why we love these big fields, competitive fields, from an exotic point of view. That is race 8, the last chance to get involved in a double. At 10 to 5 is the off time to that penultimate. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, you might want to use that as the anchor to your last double. All right, let's round it all off as far as this Saturday racing is concerned at the Hollywood Bets Gravel. It is, of course, Winter Stakes Day. And in race number 9, again, another sprint event over the 1,000 meters. We've got number 9, and that is Black Eagle as your favorite at 3 to 1. A co-favorite with the 3, Miss World. And then you've got the 13, Military Commando, who is at 11 to 2. 7 to 1 is number 6, and that is Blazing Fury. Now, as far as the last stop of the afternoon, I can confirm that the rest are in double digits, 12 to 1 about recent winner, and that is number 8, Warrior Royale. Len, get out of it stakes. We know that you like Miss World, and a lot of people will like Miss World, and it looks like your second choice, according to your cover jackpot, was number 9, Black Eagle.
Yes, Cecil. Look, Miss World's made a winning local debut after relocating from the Cape, and now that she started winning races again, I think she looks capable of. She could score a hat trick tomorrow. You know, it took her 24 runs to get her second win, but she was racing against such strong opposition, it was difficult for her. But now that she seems to be winning races, has probably given her confidence, and the way she won last time. I think she had quite a bit left in the tank. So to me, she's the one to beat. The immediate danger would be the 9 horse, Black Eagle. Has to come over from a bit of a tricky draw 9. But to me, he's the biggest danger. But then if you're going to go deeper than that, it becomes very wide open. So I've elected to go with the informed Miss World as a banker.
Hopefully your followers will be toasting you all night long after tomorrow, because you've put in the work. It is a tough card, and if it does come through, it is very much a good springboard into the season as it really gets to its peak. Thank you very much, Len. Great to talk to you again, and hopefully we'll do it again soon.